Now, DK Hardware Art is in a space that's very competitive. And when I say competitive, not only that there may be other e-commerce stores, but also that the audience that you're after can choose to purchase the stuff that you're selling from somewhere else. And that means A, you've got to differentiate, and B, you've got to kind of make sure that they choose you over others. So what's the strategy there, and how have you managed to do that?
So the idea itself in the beginning, like I mentioned, was to go after a segment which was underserved in our opinion.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
that was relatively easy thing to do once you identify that, hey, this group of people are not getting what they want the way they want it, and if
mhm,
you can provide this type of a service, then they're gonna keep buying from you, right? Because you giving them a lot of value. Just in the simplest example of the value is, think of, if you're a contractor in the middle of any state, right? Not a big city. We
mhm,
can take Alabama, we can take Tennessee. They're building a lot and they're doing a lot, but there's not a lot of resource for specialized hardware, right? The best resource is probably going to be Home Depots or Lowe's of the world, but there's not a lot of supply companies which are located in the middle of nowhere.
mhm.
But they're still building, right? And they need all these items on the site, and that's what we do. You can order from us today, and you can get all your products tomorrow on the site. There's not even a need for me to ship it to your warehouse or your to a location. You come to the site tomorrow, everything arrives, and you just build. And the goal was, let builders build, and we'll take care of everything else. So they don't have to spend time looking, searching, getting, driving, and doing all that kind of stuff, and it saves them a lot of time. So that was the idea, and in the beginning, it was relatively easy,
Mhm.
because once you go after the segment which is underserved or not served at all, and there's not a lot of attention to this type of segment from a larger companies, um, getting business wasn't that difficult
Mhm.
in the beginning. Clearly, in the last whatever 14, 15 years, more and more and more companies pay attention to that segment. So there's definitely more competition. Um, and even larger companies, even companies like Home Depot, in the last probably 6, 7 years, they start aggressively acquiring companies in our space to serve this type of segment.
Mhm.
So there's definitely more competition. But we stayed true to really customer service and building relationships. I think, if you take, like, let's say, Amazons of the world, where they have everything and price is probably great, but they really don't want to talk to the customer.
Mhm.
They want to ship it to you, you want to get it, and that's it. And
Mhm.
we're still in the technical space, right? Where sometimes you're buying things that, there's no need for explanation. Sometimes you're buying things that you have a question or two, or sometimes you're buying things in bulk and in large volume, and you need help understanding how the freight is going to work and how the delivery times are going to work and what's the best way, and this particular item is going to work with your existing project. So there's always this relationship where people want to talk to somebody and get get down to what exactly they need, so there's no errors. The last thing you want to
Sure.
do is order something on Amazons of the world, get it, and understand, hey, this is not what I needed. So now you just
Right.
wasted a whole lot of time. You need to return it, you need to reorder it, hope
True.
that you're going to get the right thing next time. So there's a lot of waste. And people who are professionals, this is not what they do. They're building stuff, right? They're not in research environment, or they're not in trial and error environment. They want to build things. So you have Amazons of the world here, and then you have larger companies of the world, who are trying to serve this space clearly. But
Right.
again, larger companies, for just by default, they're going for a larger customers, right? So they don't want to pay attention to small
True.
customers because it takes a lot of effort, and there's a lot of them, right? And that's kind of what we do. You just build relationships, and the most important thing, there are contractors who started with us 10 years ago, and there were maybe one, two, three people team, and today they're 100, 200 people company, and they're still with us, right?
Right.
So they're growing with us, they're staying with us, and we're all growing together, and you're building relationships. That's basically the key,
Right.
because ultimately you want to do business with people you like, and people who are helpful, and people who are there